Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Chris. Once again, coming at you from my channel. This is my channel, I Am Toys, and this time coming to you with a review of my passion, horror. Everyone who knows me knows I eat, sleep, and breathe this shit. And to finally have, this figure. If you don't know what this is, if you can't already figure out what this review is going to be, you have no place ever calling yourself a horror fan, if that's what you are. Obviously, this is, it's going to be a 1/6 scale figure review of Regan from The Exorcist, the original. This figure, I think it's been, since the time I put my down payment on it, it's probably been about maybe, I've lost track of time actually, to tell you the truth. I want to say maybe almost 2 years maybe, since the time I put in the down payment for this, and finally made final payment about maybe a month ago, and just received it. And the work that was put into this is phenomenal. So this is is by someone called, or known as, the Rusty Blonde, or Rusty Blonde Art. She's based out of the Middle East, I believe over in Turkey. And she does incredible work. I mean, absolutely incredible. I will absolutely probably butcher her actual name. I believe this is her real name. She's got a Facebook page as well, and she's also on Instagram. You can hit her up. First name spelled IMGE, and the last name is Celepsi. Again, I'm probably butchering this name, and if she's watching this, I'm so sorry. But the last name is spelled CELEPCI. Again, it's Rusty Blonde Art. You can check her out on Facebook. You can check her out on Instagram. She does incredible horror custom work. It's really, really incredible. So this is the box, and the box art, she asked me essentially everything from the beginning. She's like, what do you want? What do you want for the base? What expression do you want? And I shot all that to her. At the very end, she asked, hey, well, what kind of box art do you want? And I said, you pick. I'm sure whatever you choose will be incredible. When originally I saw the box art, I figured it was just going to be, like a cardboard box or something. That box in front of you is actually wood. That is a wood box. Totally custom made, at least as far as I can tell, custom painted. It's awesome. So I'm going to show you a little bit. I'm sorry about the little bit of an echo. I have a super freaking crazy mic attached to this, so the voice should be still pretty good, or the audio rather. So this is the main art on the box. Hopefully, if I pick this up, it's not going to fall over to the side. It says Exorcist right there on the back. Again, this is completely wood. Completely wood. It's incredible, man, the work that was put into this thing. As that falls, something did fall. I'm going to take off the lid just to show you how she does her certificates of authenticity. She puts it in like this. That is awesome. That is completely awesome. I almost wish I could have done an unboxing with this, because just to find out that it was actually wood on the box art, and this is all custom painted on there, man. It's glossy coated. It's incredible. And as you can see, I don't know if the writing on that is actually coming through or not. That's the certificate of authenticity that you pretty much get, and it says, this Regan McNeil figurine is one of a kind and 100% handmade by artist IMGE CELEPCI. Again, I would say the name, but I'm probably going to destroy it, so I don't want to do that. AKA, again, Rusty Blonde Art. So that's essentially what you can search her by. Once again, I already mentioned that before. So I'm going to go ahead and put this back on and give you one last shot of the top of the box again. It's friggin' amazing, and I can't wait to show you the detail on this figure. Man, I'm telling you, I love horror so much. Reviewing a horror figure for me is like friggin' doing heroin, if it's possible. So that's how good it makes me feel. Not that I actually do heroin, but anyway, you get the analogy I'm essentially trying to make. So instead of staring at the back of her, let's get into it and show you how freaking horror fantastic this figure actually is. All right, so there she is in all her glory. So those of you, again, who need a little bit of a history lesson on this and not really sure what this figure is based on, William Friedkin, well, let's go back even farther than that, actually. There's a book called The Exorcist. It was a novel. It came out in 1971. Not even 2 years later, William Friedkin basically adapted it, turned it into a film, and I think it came out in 1973. So it was originally based on, it was inspired by a true story, pretty much. Yeah, the person who was essentially possessed by the devil, it wasn't a girl, it was a guy. His name was Ronnie or Ronald Hunkler or something like that. He was born, I think, in like 1935 or something, and it was like in Maryland. And around 14 years old, I believe, what happens in the book was that he was essentially given a Ouija board by his aunt, I believe, or his grandma. I think it was the aunt. And so let's just say weird stuff started going on. It was basically theorized that they thought maybe the aunt was visiting Ron. I guess, again, I think he was 14 years old at the time. All of a sudden, weird stuff started going on in the house. They started hearing angry voices. Stuff was moving across the room. All kinds of crazy shit, essentially. They started finding claw marks on the kid's body and thinking that they could get away. So now the original house, I would assume, is technically in Maryland. So they moved, and I think they went to Missouri, St. Louis, to be exact. And, you know, just like in the horror movies, they think they could essentially outrun it. They thought maybe it was the house. This thing basically followed them. And the shit still went down, basically. Let's just say that. So I'm not going to ruin the ending for you. But anyway, that's kind of a synopsis of what the book was. And the movie was kind of inspired by that, essentially. So, and those of you who want to see a really cool documentary, the guy who directed The Exorcist, William Friedkin, he also directed a documentary called The Devil and Father Mora, or Moran or something. It's on Netflix. Just Google it, search it. Just search William Friedkin documentary Exorcist or something, and it'll you'll figure it out. But it's on Netflix. It's awesome. Supposedly he films a real life exorcism in Italy, and Father, whatever this guy's name was, essentially performs the exorcism, and the documentary is crazy. And I would imagine they're not faking anything in there, because I mean it would I'd lose all respect for William Friedkin if it was manipulated. But to hear changes in this lady's voice in the movie, and it's surreal. And he does a lot of crazy stuff. He interviews doctors, and he tries to get a psychological perspective, you know, the medical, you know, and so on, and then also the religious. He interviews a bunch of people. It's a cool documentary if you're into, you know, possession and horror and just want to see something neat. So anyway, Rusty Blonde killed this figure. I think it's amazing. You get some articulation with it as well, the detail on the figure. The legs are totally sculpted. I'm going to zoom in on that and show you that as well. I just wanted to kind of show you the basic pieces of the figure. The base is awesome. I'm probably running up my risk myself that I'm probably going to get possessed or something at some point with some of the figures that I have, because I also have the Nun from The Conjuring, and most people are like, why do you, I would never keep that in my house, but I love it. I eat, sleep, and breathe horror, man. I can't say it enough. I absolutely love it. So we'll go from that, and let me zoom in on the figure, and we'll turn it around, up and down, pan it, and have some fun. All right, so here she is, and as she's turning around, I'll kind of zoom in. I'll move in a little bit. And once again, everything is handmade and hand done. Like the hair, all custom, rooted. The outfit is all done by her. The straps, the hands are all sculpted and painted by her. The legs as well are also sculpted. You see the cuts on the body. And those of you who are wondering what that base is, and yes, I have the movie running on, the figure rotating on the Exorcist film on top of the actual display spinner. But yeah, the legs are sculpted, painted, everything is done by her. Underneath the outfit too, you have that like little garment that they wear underneath that she had, that you see it briefly in the film when she has it like pulled up. You can pull it up. The fabric on this is a little firm, so you just gotta be careful to wrinkle a little, because I did have it pulled up trying to do a pose, and you can see there's wrinkles now because of that. but trying to recreate some of the scenes from the movie. But it's incredible work that was done. Everything again, once again, handmade and handcrafted by her. And those of you are probably wondering what she's standing on too, as well. They're probably like, "What the heck is that she's on?" And she had asked me, she's like, "Well, what do you want for the base?" And I said, "Well, you know what? What's more fitting than the Bible?" Those of you are probably out there like, "Oh my God, dude, the devil's gonna come looking for you." But anyway, I figured what would be better than that, have it on that. The reason why I love this movie so much too is it's probably one of the first possession films that that I've ever seen, and it scared the living crap out of me. And a lot of it still holds up even today. If you rewatch it today in the upgraded version as well, you get a few more like digitally added scenes and like kind of weird like images and stuff, which are freaky as hell. Some of the special effects are cheesy now, like when the bed shakes. It's a little cheesy and corny, but overall, it still holds up, dude. For the most part, I'm telling you. Other than the bed shaking, that's really about the only cheesy part, honestly. But everything else about it is incredible. So if you haven't seen it, definitely watch it. But this figure is amazing. I'm definitely very, very happy that I have it. I'm happy that I waited. It took a while, but I'm definitely pleased. The straps are also, for those of you who are wondering what the straps are for, that's from the part of the movie where it's towards the end where they literally have to tie her in bed because that's how violent she's getting. And this is a crazy movie, I'm telling you, for its time. It's very controversial. I think it was one of the first horror movies that was ever nominated for an Academy Award. And, man, I can't remember what it was nominated for. If it was nominated for Best Picture or if it was for costume design. I don't think it would have been costume design. But I think it was for Best Picture. And I can't remember, or maybe it was cinematography. I have no idea. And I can't remember if it won or not. But I know it was nominated. And it's really an incredible movie. And possession movies scare the shit out of me. And I'm kind of agnostic. I actually went to a Christian academy when I was a very wee lad, and probably read the Bible more times than most people who are Christian, to tell you the truth. So there's a lot of stories in it. But I'm not a full-blown atheist. I leave the possibility open. I'm very science-oriented. I practice medically with psychiatric patients. And I see patients regularly. Essentially, I'm a doctorally educated psychiatric NP. So it's interesting. I kind of chose an interesting job, I guess, considering the kind of hobbies that I'm in as well, especially loving horror and possession and stuff like that as much as I do. It's kind of strange. But they scare the crap out of me. I mean, even being agnostic, the possession films just scare the living shit out of me. And this movie still scares the crap out of me now. The beginning of it is creepy as hell. I'll show you some of the accessories that represent that she kind of put in. And some other stuff. I'll show you a little bit of the articulation too as well with this figure. But possession movies, man, are what really scare the crap out of me, which is why the Conjuring films are kind of so good to me. They really scare the crap out of me as well. When the Paranormal Activity films, when they first came out, they scared the crap out of me as well. Those of you watching this are probably, again, I talked about this in my last review. Is this a movie review or a figure review, man? And once again, for those folks, they two go hand in hand, so get over it. But anyway, this figure's a beast, man. It's incredible. I just can't. I could film this thing all day. I could take pictures of it all day. So let's show you the accessories, and I'm gonna zoom in on the hair a little bit for you too as well. As you can see, it's such a good rooting job too. The hair that she used is awesome. It looks real, completely real to me. It's really a great rooting job, great custom job in general. She put a lot of work into this, and I'm happy that it took. Obviously, we love to get a figure faster, than 2 years, obviously, or close to it. And I could be wrong. It might not have been 2 years. It felt like a while, but it was definitely worth the wait, as you can see. It's incredible. So let's get to the accessories and close out with some final thoughts. and another pose or two, and that'll be it, guys. Okay, so accessory-wise, this is awesome. So, first thing I'm going to show you, you get the Ouija board, man. This is creepy. I told my wife a couple of days ago, and not even a couple of days ago, I've said this for years, and to my friends as well, I would never ever have a Ouija board in my house. But it's 1/6 scale. I guarantee you will not catch me asking any damn questions of this thing, because I am not opening up any doors that do not need to be opened. I don't think even atheists may want to second guess doing something like that. And again, it's kind of possibly what opened up the problems for this guy Ronnie in the beginning, what the book was based on. Yeah, you will not see me asking any questions. So anyway, you get the game piece. Essentially what you get, that's what normally would go on the board. You would ask it a question and you all put your hands on it and it would move essentially. And it is translucent. You can put it on and move it around. And what's even cooler is that there's a magnet in this thing. And what you can do is actually, this piece right here comes with it. You can actually double it up as a stand. And I like the little touch that you put on right here, putting the little pentagram. I hope that's coming through. I'm telling you, right? Everybody's watching this probably like, yo, dude. I'm like, are you going to sleep tonight? Like, you guys might not see me again in the morning. But anyway, yeah, the pentagram is a nice little touch there. It's friggin' awesome. And it also has a magnet in it as well, right there. And what happens, and what you can do essentially, is put this basically on that like that, and you put this behind, and it magnetizes, as you can see, and then you can move it around. How sick is that? As I friggin' drop it. But anyway, you kind of get the idea. I think that's awesome. So again, I'm going to do that for you one more time. Yeah, and you can move it around. And again, I'm not even going to joke around and ask it a question. I'm just going to move it around. But that's sick. I absolutely love that. And of course, the Bible. And again, those of you are probably like, "Oh my God, dude, what are you doing, man?" So yeah, and this is actually, I think this is actually a real Bible. I've actually flipped through. I don't want to open it up too much because the stand pieces that she puts in here that actually go into the foot. Hopefully you can see that. They actually go into the foot of the figure, and she basically stands on that. And as you can see, there's actual pages in it, but some of them are blank, so I don't think it's an actual Bible. But possibly the outside maybe is, or I don't know. Maybe she customized this as well. If she's watching this, I may even ask her later today if this was custom. That she basically maybe found like a smaller, like one of those hand Bibles, and basically did a custom based on that and kind of weathered it or whatever. But whatever she did, it's awesome. So if this is actually a real Bible cover and really weathered, and this is how it came, that's incredible. So I probably definitely am going to hell, or something bad's going to happen to me tonight. But anyway, this is awesome. I mean, if you've seen the film and you hear some of her verses, which are some of them are kind of X-rated, you'll know why the Bible is actually a perfect base for this figure. And another thing, but anyway, I don't want to ruin the film if those of you who haven't seen it, so just check it out. As you can see, the detail on it is awesome. It is an actual book. If this is an actual cover to an actual Bible at some point, yeah, wow. And either way, if it's a custom piece that was made, either way, it's friggin' awesome, and it's actually a book. Like, I think that's incredible. So, you also get... So yeah, that's a weird cutaway, right? Basically, I filmed this, and this is the statue she's holding is the extra accessory. But of course, when I didn't look back and watch it after I filmed it, it was completely out of focus, and you guys would have been like, "What the hell, man?" So anyway, yes, it does come with this statue. Those of you who have seen the movie know the significance of it. It was dug up in the beginning of the film, and Father Marin has it in his hand when he stands on top of this like kind of broken pillar, and then he's got like I'm pretty sure he had it in his hand, and he's standing there holding it, standing across from the actual like life-size statue of it, and it's very powerful scene too, because it's almost like this good versus evil scene. Him being obviously the priest and being good, obviously the personification of good, basically, and the devil on the other side. Really an incredible part. I'm telling you, I can't stress enough. You have to see this movie. You have to. And I'm sorry if you hear any yelling in the background. I had to redo this, so kids are home, and you might hear some racket. And so, but yeah, that is a human member. It's the member. If you could see his crotch and his balls, and then yep, everything is there. Awesome detail work that she did on this. Rusty Blonde, awesome. Thank you very much. It's incredible that she was able to recreate that, and it's pretty much exact to the film. Again, I can't stress enough. Everything is handmade, handcrafted by her. It's incredible. So, all right, let's move on to a few extra things I wanted to show you. Okay, so articulation that you get with this awesome demon girl. Obviously, arms can go up. You're not going to probably do some crazy articulation with this. Arms go forward, back. You get some good 90-degree bends right there. It's not a crazy amount of articulation, but you don't need it. And again, this is all custom, sculpted. The material itself, I don't want to get it wrong and say what it is, but this is not, it's probably a form of plastic. It's definitely not one of your like standard bodies that you see with like Hot Toys, because obviously these are hand sculpted. And you see at the bottom of the feet here as well, these are the little holes where the things go into the feet essentially. And I'm going to show you some of the detail on this feet, because I don't think I really showed you enough. And on the hands as well. So you get abduction, you can kind of sit her down, and you can go back a little bit too, about right there. But again, you're probably not going to do too much. So again, you can do this, and I'm sure you're going to know what pose I'm going to be doing next. So that's really about it. And the head obviously goes all the way around, man, and goes left to right. It doesn't hold a position up or down though, which is fine. That doesn't bother me. This is purely a display piece, man. It's incredible. I mean, all figures are display pieces essentially, but you're not going to be putting her. I mean, some people are probably like, there's one pose in the film that was actually cut out of the film, and it's added in the extra, the director's cut, or the most recent version. And those of you who know what I'm talking about are probably like, oh man, but what if you wanted to try and recreate that pose? Yeah, that would be insane. And it was a little much in the film. It kind of came out of nowhere, like when you see it. I think the movie works better without that scene. Those of you who have seen the film may agree with me, may not, but it's all in the eye of the beholder, essentially. But I think it was a crazy scene, and if they had integrated it more probably towards the end, and not how they showed it in the film, because when it was showed in the film, and those of you who know what I'm talking about, I don't really want to call the pose, the scene what it is, because then it'll kind of give away exactly what I'm talking about, so I don't want to give away that scene entirely for those who haven't seen it, even though I've already kind of spoiled a few things already. But there are some significant moments, in the extra version I'm not going to do. But again, it was a cool pose, but it was placed wrong, because after that scene happens, it essentially it's just like, oh my god, wow, and then they just move to the next scene, and it's like, okay, that was it? That's the only reaction we get? So it kind of didn't make sense. But anyway, let's show you the pose, one more pose, and actually show you the one more pose, and then also show you the detail on the feet as well. And we'll close out. And here we are, one last pose. And I'm going to close out the video again, so don't worry, I'm not going to close out now. Even though some of you are probably like, oh my god, in the video, he talks too much. But anyway, those of you who have seen the movie, know the significance of this pose, where her head is completely backwards. So I probably spoiled that scene for you already. Sorry about that. But yeah, there's a scene where her head goes completely backwards, and it's kind of crazy. It may or may not be cheesy to some folks. Like I said, there are some cheesy moments in the film, but overall the film's great though, and there's just some crazy shit. I don't know. Some people have tossed around the idea of like remaking The Exorcist, but I don't know. I think the original holds up. If there was a way to just kind of edit out some scenes, like I don't know. Or maybe improve them. I don't know how you would really do that at this point. Maybe the only way to kind of improve on some of the issues would be to remake the film. There's not much I would kind of remove other than the bed shake. You could probably get rid of that. I don't know if there's a way to CGI that better somehow. It would probably look awful if they tried. But yeah, who knows? I think the film's great. I don't necessarily think it needs a remake. As you can see, this figure is it's really cool, man. There's another custom out there by another customizer, and it's pretty good. I like this one as well. You know, I think they're both incredible, but this one is amazing. Hopefully the detail is coming through on the feet a little bit more. I'm going to try to do that with her standing up and show you one more, and probably try to get some more detail on that feet shown for you. But I love the sculpt. I think the sculpt's great. She did a great job, for sure. Just totally a fun figure. The paint on the eyes, man, I'm telling you, awesome. Just totally awesome. I love this. I can't wait to take a photo of this shot, man. So I hope this feet are coming in a little bit better for you too. Look at the detail on that. Incredible. Again, all hand sculpted, hand painted, detailed. It's just amazing. So let me stand her up for you guys one more time, and we'll close out the video. Alright, so there's one thing I said I was going to show you guys, which I didn't show you. So like I said, in the movie, she's got these little, like, things, I forget what the hell you would actually call them. It's like a little undergarment that kids used to wear, at least girls anyway. And this is accurate to the film as well. As you can see, those are in there. And there's a really controversial scene in the movie. I can't remember if I think it was in the original and not just the re-edited version. But she, like, again, if you got kids watching this video, I would put earmuffs over their ears for a second. But there's a scene in the movie where she takes a cross and she's like stabbing herself in the crotch with the cross, and saying something pretty vulgar to Father Karras. It's not something to laugh at, but it's just, dude, it's a wild movie, I'm telling you. It holds up even today. It's a crazy ass movie, and it's incredible. So there's that, and I'm going to show you the feet and the detail on the feet a little bit more real quick before we close this sucker out. And then that'll be it, guys. Okay, so I wanted to show you the detail on the feet a little bit better, just to show you how incredible the sculpt is on that. It's incredible, guys. And those of you who are probably out there watching this video again, I'm like, oh man, no, not again on the Bible, dude. Yeah, man, but I'm telling you, it couldn't be a better base. It's just, it's exactly, it's fitting, essentially, especially considering a lot of the stuff that she says in the movie, the basis of the character, and the way the possession essentially progresses. Trust me, it's the perfect base. And those of you who have seen this movie know exactly what I'm talking about, probably agree. And that's really about it, guys. So I love this thing. I think it's fantastic. I'm gonna have a lot of fun with it. My kids are already scared to death. I chased my son around just with the box, and I had the music going on my phone. And I was chasing around with the box in the face of the girl, and he was freaking out. He locked himself in his room. He was like, "Stop it, Daddy!" Oh man, but you guys are probably like, "Oh, don't be cruel," but they love horror. They love it too. I can't wait until they get a little bit older, so I can show them some of these movies. This is just, again, it's incredible work. Incredible work on her part. Look at the detail, man. It's really good. Ooh, look at that mug. Absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. So, that's it, guys. I think I pretty much said everything I wanted to say. Thank you for tuning in. And who knows what the next review will be. But I'm going to have some pictures up of this fine girl at some point today or tomorrow or something like that. I'll probably have photos up before I got the damn video up, honestly. So before I even have that up. So that's one caveat, I guess. But anyway, that's really about it, guys. I love this thing. Horror is life, baby. Deuces. Peace.